Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Passing pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
You're exactly right. Sports does come to life, especially in the city of Detroit. Braylon Edwards Show with Shep here. Shep's not in, but my man Anson Wells, Michigan State legend, as well as the Detroit Hecklers, if you're visiting the Palace of Auburn Hills anytime soon. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man, and I know we're a little down on them right now, but I'm be heckling for some Pistons playoffs. I know we're going to save some Pistons till the end of the show. It's been a while since we talked about it, but man, we got some exciting football news.
100%. You know, I was planning on coming in and talking about Planet Fitness and working out today, or trying to come in with some easy peasy stuff and see what's going on in
Not
the world
this week.
that is in sports. This isn't how it's going to happen
No,
this
sir.
week. Nobody wants to hear about Team USA beating Mexico 5-3. They don't want to hear about the Pistons and things like that. They want to hear about one team and one sport, and that is the NFL. If you didn't know, if you've been hiding under a rock, the Detroit Lions made another move about 45 minutes ago. They have signed, they haven't signed yet. That period is tomorrow, but they have acquired ISIAH Pacheco, running back, Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl winner, hard-nosed runner, very electric guy, if you will, in that space. Before I was going to come on the show, and I was legitimately going to say, where are we at with Brad Holmes' moves yesterday? Where are we at with the first day of free agency? A lot of moves made by teams yesterday. Where were we at? I was coming here with a different spill, but a move made right before the show, 2 days in a row. ISIAH Pacheco now a Detroit Lion. Now you have your RB number 2, and you understand the space they're going to use that for. Everybody complaining about David Montgomery walking out of the door, signing a back like ISIAH Pacheco as opposed to a Rico Dodell or Kenneth Gainwell, one of those backs. It lets you know this is just for short yardage and goals in certain spots. Where are you today after this move, Anson Wells?
Well, we have yet another non-biblical Isaiah in town. Shout out to the ISIAH spelling. Listen, I don't hate this move. This is a needed move. Super Bowl champ. A wily vet, guy that understands the business, understands how to be a complimentary back. But this really feels like breaking up with that real fine woman.
Yeah.
She a little high maintenance though. She liked her clothes. She liked her fine dining. You got a cheaper, not as hot version of David Montgomery right now.
That fine woman was Demo?
Yes, Demo, fine woman,
Yeah.
flat out.
100%. Chad, I want to know where you guys are at. Welcome you in too.
Just
Appreciate
an
you for
analogy,
tapping
folks.
in. Always in the nick of time. Obviously, David Montgomery no longer here. ISIAH Pacheco is now, as you say, the new girlfriend. Maybe not necessarily as pretty. You know, looking at the stats over the last 23 to, ISIAH Pacheco had 1,100 yards in 23. He proceeded to have, I want to say, less yards. What did he have? 935 in 23, 310 in 25, or 468 in 25. He's a guy that runs the ball hard, but where are you at completely with the move?
2024 fibula fracture, ends the season prematurely.
Injuries.
He was out 6 to 8 weeks, but a fibula fracture for a running back, that's not something that I feel that he overcame. And last year you saw him, he looked a step slow. Maybe that's his age. The big thing for me, though, is this guy wants to be here. Yeah. We'll go back to the girlfriend analogy. Little less maintenance, wants to be there, thrilled to be with you. And that's where ISIAH Pacheco is. His time with the multiple-time Super Bowl champ Kansas City Chiefs came to a close. And this is a guy that he's not out there chasing a paycheck. He's going to get a modest one. What is he probably going to make about $3 million a year, 4 tops? Yeah. But he's with a team that he feels is going to give him a chance to play in the postseason. He knows that he's coming here to be a second, third fiddle to one Jahmyr Gibbs. This is a guy that knows his role and wants to be in that role. It's not Rico Dowdell, which I would have loved to have been. I would have rather had him than Kenneth Gainwell. I think he really fit the role. Even with wearing that number 5 in Carolina, he ran like Monty. But this is, this is a move. It's nothing to get excited about, but it fills a need. Now allows you to maybe chase a guy in the 5th or 6th round at running back if you so choose. We got 2 picks in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them add some youth there.
And a 2nd-round pick. Just looking at it from the standpoint of, where I see the Detroit Lions or where I saw the Detroit Lions, I think I have to stop looking at this team the way that I want to look at this team.
You said that earlier
today. I have to stop
today.
looking at the moves that I want to make happen, the swings that I want to make happen. It does not seem as though this team has the urgency to make moves and win right now. I'm just saying, because where I looked at this team is I looked at the skill position. I looked at the team guys you have: Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporte. On the defensive side of the ball, Jack Campbell, Aiden Hutchinson. I see a team that has weapons in place. You can charge now. You saw what they were 2 years ago, 3 years ago. This is a team that's ready to compete for the whole enchilada right now. But these moves don't feel like a whole enchilada type compete. It feels like, we're cool being in the conversation. We're cool with challenging for the NFC North. We're cool with getting to the 2nd round of the playoffs while we extend this tenure of successful football down the road. And if that's what we're here to do, then I got to change my opinion as an analyst. I got to change the way I look at the Detroit Lions. If that's how they want to operate, then you know what? Fine, by all means. These moves aren't conducive, in my opinion, to challenge for Super Bowl right now.
And we talked about this before the show.
Yeah.
This is a conversation
we
we had
yesterday. I
yesterday.
like the K-Mays moves. I like the ISIAH Pacheco moves,
Yeah.
but I don't like them to the tune of they're making me change my opinion on how the Lions finished last year. They're making me change my opinion on the urgency or the sense of urgency that is this offseason. You can't win through the draft. You can win with the draft. You gotta work them together. You build in the draft, and I heard this by Sean Baligian. Gotta watch the morning show in the mornings, 8 to 10. They do a hell of a job.
Yeah,
Maz and Sean Baligian. You build through the draft, which they have. Jahmyr Gibbs is a building piece. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a building piece. 97, 40, these building pieces.
And you finish.
But then you finish, you supplement, you get better with the additions through the free agency. Now, it's still a long time before the season starts, but just day 1 and day 2 put together, it's a man-ish type situation.
And so, Bray, you're acknowledging, not embracing what I've been saying for over a year now.
Exactly, not embracing it.
And because you do things differently.
Yeah.
And chat, fan base of the Lions, you guys would do things differently. But again, this is operated from a spreadsheet. Yeah. There's somebody in Allen Park that's balancing dollars and cents. And you look, fiscally, this team's been super, super duper successful. And I think that you nailed it. This organization is more concerned with lasting power and staying in the conversation to the point where it isn't just a 2-year fad of maybe being the America's team and nobody wants to go there anymore. If you continue to build upon success, 10 years down the line, you are considered one of the premier franchises, even if you don't have a Super Bowl. Bills don't have a Super Bowl, and they are considered one of the preeminent franchises in the NFL. We can do that, and I know you don't want it. You don't want that, but that is what we are being given. And I know you guys, Chet, that's not what you want. You guys want to double down, triple down, make that big trade, get yourself over, get that chip, and then you're okay with fading into 6-7 years of obscurity. Ownership is not.
Kool-Aid, where you at? Where are you with the Detroit Lions? Because you always have patience. You always have a sense of understanding, if you will. Where are you at right now? Day 2. 3 moves have been made, if you will. We receive offensive linemen. The Aiden Hutchinson rule, if you will. That dude was down there getting destroyed, man. I know everybody was cracking jokes about that, and rightfully so. So we pick up a right tackle / guard. Yes, then we pick up ISIAH Pacheco today, K-Mays yesterday. Where are you at right now?
I mean, right now, it's kind of like what we were saying yesterday. This is definitely helping to restore some of the faith that I had, because my faith has turned into hoping now. But Brad Holmes has shown through the largest part of tenure of his time here that he knows what he's doing. I believe that the injuries tripped him up a little bit more, or either a lot more than he even expected. And so when we look at, some of these other teams who we've been sitting around waiting to go and make moves and do things, I don't think that that's been necessarily what's cost the Lions.
Yeah.
I think those injuries popped up, and now you have to be able to keep this team afloat on the fly. What I see him doing right now is effectively an attempt to pad that depth back up. The stuff that I do believe helped make them that much more special. And so when you see ISIAH Pacheco, when you see some of these other deals coming in, especially you see Cade Mays, to try and make that offensive line great, that to me is where I'm like, okay, all right, I like what's going on, but the secondary still concerns me, especially considering he hasn't been able to really get that right, whether it be the injuries or whether it be the selections through the draft. So that is something that does concern me, especially if we don't have, what some people want to be that bookend edge rusher over there. So I'm kind of in the middle. I'm gonna need the chat family to help me out here. I'm gonna need y'all to help me out here. Y'all let me know where you at right now with Brad, because I do. You're right. I've generally been like, nah, Brad hasn't given us a reason to not trust him, even if I disagree with his moves. But after the last couple seasons and not meeting the expectations that even they set, that is where I'm like, okay, these are some moves in the right direction. I'm not going to be like, oh, these aren't the biggest moves. Of course, we all want the big moves. Right. But in the land of realism, there was a time where we didn't even make these types of moves before the Brad Holmes era. So I appreciate the moves that are being made right now to try and restore what I believed was hurt last year. That offensive line in the run game suffered. So to see those two get the early attention in free agency, I think that that's key for this team.
Braylon, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you explain the Hutch rule? Because I think that there's a lot of people that don't understand what we're talking about. It was Brendan yesterday after the Ballum signing that hit the group thread with probably one of the most unfortunate, ironic situations for a guy to now move to in our newest signing yesterday.
No. I want you to go ahead and let him know. You got to go ahead and let him know. You see
last year,
you see the excitement that you have in your voice?
Who did he come from? What team did he come from?
Miami.
So we had the joint practices last year, the joint sessions with the Lions and Miami. If you recall, a certain right tackle was getting beat so badly by a certain Aiden Hutchinson that they had to whistle every play during the practice dead. So they stopped play for a second and said, listen, even when he gets by him, don't whistle the play dead, okay? Because we need to, play. That's who we just signed.
Yeah, basically at the end of the day, they knew every play what was coming. They knew he was going to get ran. And if they did not blow the whistle, he would have got slammed to the ground or would have been worse. And it would have incited a fight, which you never want to happen. Although players, we love it. So
welcome to Detroit, Larry.
Welcome to Detroit. Welcome to Detroit. No, so still having this conversation, where are you? Obviously, we know Lions are going to take things slow. They're not big swing type team. They're very slow. They're very patient. It just sucks, man, when you're watching. And you're watching some of these teams get better. I think the big thing for me, Kool-Aid and Cam, is watching is, you want to get better through the draft and build through the draft and all those things. But when you put yourself in a situation like you did in 23, where now you have experienced guys that have been through the rounds of the playoff, they know what they want, you know what it is, you know what it takes to get there. Sometimes you got to go out and get these guys that already understand the game. Because trying to depend too much on the draft is you're depending too much on 20-year-old guys coming to, well, I know they're a little older now through COVID, but you're depending on guys that don't have that experience to come in, figure it out, and be the players that you need them to be in January. And sometimes when you're ready, when the iron is hot, you strike now, and you get a lot of those players through the free agency. So when I see players like Devin Lloyd sign to the Carolina Panthers, when I see players like Jalen Phillips, although it was a massive deal, this is what they chose to do. This is what they chose to pay. Also, too, the Panthers, they made it to the playoffs last year. That's right. They won their division last year. You look at the moves they made, following and tracking. You look at the Chicago Bears, still making moves, still moving around, still moving pieces. They lost the center. They got a center. They also picked up a safety. They picked up another corner to be on the opposite side of Jalen Johnson. They picked up a wide receiver. The teams that are just there with you or just above you in the NFC, that's what I'm looking at. And there were a lot of moves made by those NFC teams. Don't sleep on a team like the Commanders.
Pacheco bringing 2 championships of experience to Detroit.
And injuries.
Oh, yeah, 2 of those as well. But, it does not hurt for a team this young to have somebody who's been there multiple times.
What are some moves that you guys tracked yesterday? Like now looking back, now that we've had a day, chat, you jump in too. What are some moves that you saw where you're like, man, these were really good moves. These were good moves. I just pointed out to one of them, the Devin Lloyd situation with Carolina. Thought that was a really good move, if you will. I think the Malik Willis move was good. It doesn't have to be a huge swing for a move to work. I think you got a quarterback that is professional, is going to bring a level of skill to that position, and a team that needs a quarterback to be such. So I like that move, like moves like that.
I'm trying to catch up with all of these.
Yeah. Why you do that? Set
There's
the depth
one.
chart.
There's actually a graphic that you've got. I don't know whether you want to bring it up at some point, but you really put one team's moves into perspective for me.
We'll save that for a little bit.
And it's really changing the way that we might look at a franchise that no one's favored for some time now.
Yeah, 100%. We'll have that in a minute. Let's stick with the Lions for a minute. They made another move today. Look at the depth chart. I think that's another thing that we want to do. Let's look at ISIAH PACHECO on that offensive line, and let's look at what the Lions' depth chart on offense looks like right now. You made a move in K. Mays yesterday. You also take your time with it. It's not that big of a deal. Take your time. This is the projected offensive line start when you get a chance. See what you see when you see this. This is what we were talking about yesterday. You add K. Mays. This is a piece. Panay at left, Christian Mahogany left guard, Cade Mays. Larry Borum is the guy, and he's there temporarily until we draft one. And then Tate Rallies. This is what the offensive line is looking like currently. Obviously, we know we want to make that right tackle position a lot stronger. We want to get or draft our starting position there. But where you at with this right now? After a day, looking at this situation.
Honestly, with our guys, with the offensive line, I absolutely love where we're sitting because Tate Ratledge is not moving. All right, you get a guy in his natural position in his second year. Last year, I think you stunted his growth by bringing him into camp and spending half the camp at center. Guy doesn't know where he's going to play. He's busy learning all of this stuff as a center and learning all of the other stuff as a right guard. Ultimately, he plays right guard. I think that hurt him early on. We saw Tate really develop in the second half of the season. Larry Borum, I don't think that he's going to be your starter. I think that
just there for right now. He's a depth piece. He's a Dan Skipper type situation.
The Dan Skipper,
100%.
You'll see this guy up and down the line. But what it does is it relieves some of the pressure to have to go after a right tackle in the first round. It allows you to kind of play with that first or second round, or maybe look elsewhere. But it gives you some depth. Mahogany, I really like him in a chance to be in a third year, get that experience, let it gel, figure out who he truly is. I think Panay, there will be maybe some growing pains, but this is his natural position, and it's a position that we need him at to keep Jared Goff upright. Cade Mays, this guy, as much as he might have been your third choice, he's better than what we got from Ragnow in the second half of 2024 when he was on one leg. And it's certainly better than anything we dialed up there last year. Having consistency under center that'll osmosis throughout the rest of the line. Confidence will be plenty.
Well, we know we just picked up ISIAH PACHECO, so let's go to the skill set right now for the Detroit Lions as it is currently projected. We know who the QB1 is as well as RB1. ISIAH PACHECO, now your running back too. And just focusing on that move for a second, what would the over or under for yards be this year for ISIAH PACHECO from you guys?
550.
550, how many touchdowns?
I think that's high. I could see him getting 5-6 tutties.
Okay. What do you think, Kool-Aid? ISIAH PACHECO. Last year, David Montgomery was 7-16 and 8 touchdowns.
You know what? I can see him getting about that range, about 6-7 touchdowns on the year. And that to me, honestly, is if he's not the ISIAH PACHECO that we've known of the past. But I can see him getting some chip in.
He's not.
I know. But I think with this offensive line, with the schemes, with the sets, I'm hoping that he's going to be serviceable. I don't believe he's going to be a demo where we're talking about we got 1A and 1B running backs, but I could see 6 or 7 touchdowns.
So if they go get Dowdle, they go get Kenneth Gainwell, I know your guys that you wanted, they don't draft a running back.
No.
I think that this means that we will see a non-Sione Vaki special teams type running back, a guy that's just for the offense.
Probably a 4th, 5th round pick.
Yes, sir.
Something like
and we got, again, 2 4th, 2 5th, 2 6.
If you look at ISIAH PACHECO, he doesn't typically score a lot of touchdowns. Mm-hmm. I know different system with Kansas City Chiefs. He probably will touch the ball more in scoring situations here. I got him right around 550 is good. I think 4 to 5 touchdowns.
5 and 5, I'll be happy.
5 and 5, and then obviously J-Mo re-signed last year. Extended last year. 14 is 14. Isaac Tesla, will we see more of him? Will we see more of Isaac Tesla this year?
I want to rewind to J-Mo quick.
We need to.
What everyone thought we were going to see from J-Mo last year that we didn't get until about week 10, week 11?
Week 10 and week 11, yeah.
When Amon-Ra had a little bit of injury stuff, and then all of a sudden J-Mo, we can use him in things other than just a streak.
It reverses the streaks and post
for sure.
routes,
So
yeah.
I think that the JMO that we expected last year, we see early and often. I think that helps us with Sam Laporta, but Tesla has to be the Laporta of the offense in the first half of the season until we figure out Sam's back issues.
I agree with that. You remember Sam Laporta in that first half of the season?
Oh, man.
After about the first 3 weeks, he seemed to be more than just a safety valve or an
Unstoppable.
outlet. He was the first quarters. He was their first quarter scores. He was the first downs in the 1st quarter for them. And when he went down, it seemed like they lost a lot as related to how they got out the gate with some of these teams, which was shocking. Because in the past, it was like after the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, you knew the Lions are putting BTA on anybody that steps up to their offense. And so I look forward to them having somebody that they can depend on to kind of be that outlet valve whenever there's maybe too much attention or pressure on Jamison Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I do believe Isaac Tesla can step up there. And you know why? Because a wise man broke it down for us on this show. I got to pull the chef here. Shout out to Braylon Edwards with the Braylon's Breakdown.
Shout out to Braylon's Breakdown. I can't wait till they come back, no. But you look at the Detroit Lions skill set right now, it's definitely not a bad group at all. I mean, you look at the wide receiver position, probably one of the better ones in the NFL. The dynamic route running of Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then the speed and what you saw break out last year, a true breakout for Jamison Williams. Love Sam Laporta. They definitely missed him, and you saw when he went down, they weren't able to ease into games with that same flair and that same spirit. Took them a lot longer to get going, and sometimes they put themselves in a situation where they were a little bit too far on the A-ball. I can't wait to see what 18 does this year. I cannot wait to see what 18 does.
Tesla has to be a presence,
Right.
not just a jump ball guy.
Agreed. They have to allow him to do that. You can't only put him in there in situations where, hey, look, here's a fade at the end of the quarter, at the end of the half, go in there and jump, throw him a fade. Oh, he caught it. Oh, he didn't. All right, now it's halftime. We got to give him opportunities because all the work that he's putting in throughout the week, we'll let him do that in games because then you have situations. Remember he dropped the touchdown? What game was that in recently?
The Minnesota game, wasn't it?
Is it
Minnesota or Pittsburgh? It would have won the game.
It's Pittsburgh game.
Yeah.
He drops the Pittsburgh game, and everybody's like, oh, my God.
That's what we traded 3 picks for.
Everybody goes from being excited about Isaac Tesla to being he should have caught that. Well, what happens is you got to give him more opportunities. You got to let him get a rhythm within.
He's got to be over 50% routes
100%.
run. I'd like to see him in the 65%, even 70%.
But speaking of somebody who has to play, you talk about Sam Laporta. What can Sam Laporta be? I want to see him get back to that. You know who has to play? It's on the defensive side of the ball. Go to the defensive depth chart, if you will, for me. Sweet potato. It's on the defensive line right now, and it is an individual that got paid. It's an individual that we've also talked about. Maybe you move him. Maybe you move his contract. And probably can't move his contract.
$20 million man.
1,000%. Ladies and gentlemen, that would be the top left corner in Aleem McNeil. He's got to play for you this year. He's got a ball for you this year.
Ball.
He's got to be a monster.
Talk to me about it, Bray. Hold on. Talk to me about that more. About Aleem.
You got to have Aleem ball out. Like 2 years ago, I watched the game, the Indianapolis Colts versus Detroit Lions, and I saw one Aleem McNeil dish rag and manhandle a Quentin Nelson. Quentin Nelson's a grown man. He's one of the best in the business at his job. And Aleem McNeil just handled him, and it wasn't hard at all. Aleem's got to get back to being that. That is why he got the extension. His extension came 2 games after that. That's why you get the extension. You got to be a version of that. Because if what we're paying him, if he can't be a version of that, ladies and gentlemen, Lions are in trouble on that defensive line.
Did you say
That's a
dish
bar.
ragged?
Yeah.
I like that.
That's when you
I like that.
when you just grab him and you just
You
Man,
know
they
that.
bush.
and you control him. Moves still happening in the NFL. I see Sweet Potato Cam dropping them in the background. We'll talk about a couple of moves that have happened. But this defensive line right now, as it's constructed, it's an interesting one. Levi Onwuzurike, what does that look like for the projected
Average.
100%. Talik Williams, I wasn't necessarily enamored with the draft pick last year
month
of
of
Talik
the
Williams.
season, no, the last 2 games.
That's what I'm saying. He played well. This
did.
That's what I want to know, Bray. Your take on him.
Does he take that step?
Talik Williams was brought in because DJ Reader would no longer be here. DJ Reader, you see him on different shows. I think we have some of that footage, some of that sound. We'll let you hear what he said. See what you make of it. But I don't think he'll be here. I think they move on for him. Talik Williams will be the replacement in that regard. Aleem McNeil, you got to come to play. And Talik Williams, you got to expound on that last 4-5 week period of the NFL season.
Where's the other edge?
The other edge right now is
we're leave
good.
a guy off in there,
We're
Cam?
good. No.
I think you missed somebody.
We got to talk to Brad.
The other edge right now would be Josh Pascal.
That's a good answer.
Oh, man. I
gotta
appreciate
toss
you leaving Josh off of that one.
100%. Josh Pascal right now would be your
I'd
right
rather have Hassanin up there, man.
Yeah, he would be your right in right now. But just looking at this as it's currently constructed, this is why edge has to be the next focus.
So what is this? What did we run in a 3-1-3-4? How does that work?
We missed a shot to Brendan. We know we missed.
Who's your edge?
3 nose
Josh
tackles,
Pascal.
1 roving end, 3 linebackers, and 4
But
secondary.
who do you hope is over there?
Over where?
Who do you hope is
Over on the bench? Levi.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about an edge? Who am I hoping is over there? Boye Murphy. Oh, wait, he signed somewhere.
Yeah, a lot of guys signed.
Kobe? No.
Anson wants MD. MD back.
100%.
Something, man.
That's a guy getting back on track that has to play for you, and it's got to be a Lemmy. He's got to show up. Last year, injuries, we get all that. We understand you're coming back from ACL. Now is the time. They invested
2024
a lot of money.
Aleem is what we need.
100%.
Monster.
100%. But then yesterday, a lot of defensive backs move. Your secondary.
You know, speaking of that, you asked me a question of what moves I liked around. Obviously, K9 to KC as a Spartan, I love it.
I think it's a great move.
I traded him away in a bunch of my dynasty leagues because I knew he wasn't getting enough snaps in Seattle. Now,
was he even let me ask that question. Was he even the feature back in Seattle last year?
Ironically, Zach Charbonnet was getting 55% of touches. Wasn't out producing him, though. I love that move, not only from a KC, if I was a KC fan, but also from a fantasy perspective. Yeah. The Bengals did really well. You get Boye Mafe and you get Brian Cook. I don't know what the status of Football Joe is going to be. I don't know whether, Burrow's going to stay there or not, but that guy had to score 34 points a game to win games. You add 2 major players to that defense in Cincinnati. I like that a lot for them. And then, ironically enough, a team that I think is just pathetic, the New York Football Giants, take Tremaine Edmonds from the Bears, which you have to love as a Lions fan. That guy's always been a thorn in our side. But then they also get Isaiah Likely, and I like that as, Mr. CTE as a real dynamic tight end for him to utilize. Bellinger and a couple of these other guys that they tried to hit on haven't panned out there. Those moves I really like for New York. That's a sleeper team. We know every year it's a different
new team
on top over there. Don't sleep on New York if those CTE boys can be healthy.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of team moves that made moves yesterday, man. I look at the Washington Commanders. The Commanders made a ton of moves trying to get better. They look at the NFC landscape that might be open, that be right for the taking. And then they'll have a healthy Jaden Daniels, who was your quarterback of choice in that particular draft class.
Still my
But
quarterback
those Las
choice.
Vegas Raiders, man.
There you go. I was waiting for it.
Those Las Vegas
go.
Raiders. Let's take a brief pivot from the Detroit Lions, talk about the Raiders and what Tom Brady are doing. Yesterday, going into the season, I think they had $300 million. At $200 million. They spent.
Must be nice.
They tried to spend it all. Put the Tom Brady sheet up there, if you will. Sweet potato camp.
Changing narratives, buddy.
Watching the moves they made. This is what they did yesterday. Okay, Tyler Lindenbaum, 3 years, $81 million. Quay Walker, they get him from Green Bay.
Would've loved
3 years,
him.
$40.5. N'Kobe Dean,
Would've
we
loved
talked
him.
about him on this show. They get him from the Eagles. 3 years, $36. Naylor, 3 for $35.
Green?
Another Michigan State. There you go. I won't say that. 3 years, $48. Quiddy Pay.
I would have liked him.
Go Blue.
I would have liked him too.
Right back at you. Stokes,
Hey,
DB.
that was the name that came up on the show yesterday.
100%. Malcolm
Stokes
Kuntz,
at 10 milli, huh?
100%. Matt, and then Kuntz living, and then a trade for Terry Johnson.
Let me ask you, out of those ones there, who do you see that they had to overpay? Because, yeah, it's Tom Brady. Yeah, it's Vegas, but it's still the Raiders. Did they get friendly contracts here, signings here, or did they have to overpay to start the revolution?
I think this is pretty much on par.
It does. It seems like
these are on par signings.
This is like championship great franchise. Hey, we want to be their signings.
So now looking at this, and now you know they're going to draft Fernando Mendoza, and now you know they have Brock Bowers, and they got some players elite over there, if you will. Getting rid of Max Crosby will help them in terms of with the picks. Looking at Tom, this is why people were having the conversation about Tom Brady working for Fox and being able to go into these rooms, scout, talk to players, do the whole song and dance. I was like, it doesn't matter, so what? But now you look at it. He's legitimately in these different cities. He's in these different rooms. He's talking to 2 teams a week or sometimes 4, depending on if they have 2 games that week. He's talking to these players. He's watching the game through his lens. He's able to point out who works. He's able to look at these things, who works, scout and do, if you will. it's going to be interesting to see what the Las Vegas Raiders become with Tom Brady helping at the hand. Shout out to John Spytek, their GM as well, who also is a Michigan guy. He was down there in Tampa. He's doing a lot of it as well. It's not just Tom, but you got a guy like Tom, man, in this space with this cash.
This might open a can of worms.
Go ahead.
You said he's a Michigan guy. Brad versus Brady. A couple of years from now, a lot of Lions fans might say, man, if we could have just waited a couple more years to get our new GM.
Yeah.
Who knows? Tom Brady might have wanted to come home. And, man, could you imagine Brady
I know
cashing
you're a
checks
secret
and
Michigan
making
fandom would
calls
have
for
loved
the
that answer.
Lions? I know y'all would be crazy for that.
I tell you a secret. Like, Detroit not sexy enough destination for Tom
It isn't,
Brady.
is it?
Like, Tom Brady, you know what it is. Like,
That was my next question.
Vegas has the West Coast. It's Vegas. It's the Strip. It's the new team. It's this $2.5 billion stadium in Baligian. That's a destination. All that is what attracted Tom Brady.
What would you rather
And
have,
number
Brad or
one
Brady right now? Don't
Uh,
answer that.
It's because it's not an answer. The answer is Brad Holmes right now until otherwise known.
There you go.
Let's do this, man. Let's get a commercial break in.
Pay some bills, baby.
100%. Let's pay some bills. And we'll come back with more of this conversation. Where are you at with Brad Holmes, the Detroit Lions? Today they signed ISIAH PACHECO. We don't know the terms yet, but now they have RB2. They have their center one, and they have some depth pieces at the offensive line position. A lot of moves to be made, and a lot of moves still mapping around the NFL. But first, let me tell you about Vin Johnson Law. He is the fighter, so let him fight for you. VENfights.com. That's where you go. When something happens, don't let it be the second. Don't let it be the third or fourth call you make. Make it the first. You make it the first call you make, and when we make it that first call, we get things done. Whether it's a settlement, whether it's a verdict, it doesn't matter because they want all the smoke. He and his law group, they can get you done today. VENfights.com.
Hey, the greatest sports bar around, as we know, is Art and Jake's, but they're also great at taking care of the community. This weekend, March 14th, Saturday, downtown Romeo, they're kicking off the Romeo Lions Club St. Baldrick's Festival, where people will be shaving their heads to create money and donations for a great, great cause. Childhood cancer research. You can get involved now at RomeoSB.com to join the team and get your head shaved, or if you just want to keep your hair on your head, you can scan that special Art and Jake's QR code on the screen right now to donate directly to the Art and Jake's team. Let's help them crush their goal.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shaq Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. VenFights.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
It's game on at Art & Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art & Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. With over 2,700 gyms nationwide, it's the gym for you. It's the gym for everybody. We're all strong on this planet, and remember that planet is Planet Fitness, but there's no judgment here. Home of the judgment-free zone, you work out to the march and the beat of your own drum, while trainers are on staff and in the locker room as well as the gym is squeaky clean. Come on down to Planet Fitness. We understand that fitness is essential, so we want you to either start or continue your journey with us. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
I'm pretty sure it's time for you guys to find out what the hype is all about on your own. You guys have been hearing us absolutely go wild over these Sun Cruiser drinks for the last year, and it's real talk, guys. We all have them all during the watch parties, during the tailgates, during the post games for the Lions. It's no bubbles, real vodka, real iced tea, 4.5% vodka. I love them. Neil loves them. Sean loves them. It's time for you to love them too. Head to your nearest retailer, grocer, get yourself some Sun Cruisers, but please enjoy them responsibly.
And we back.
Welcome back. Braylon Edwards Show with Anson today. Actually, it's been with Anson the last 3 days. Friday,
and tomorrow
Monday,
too.
and Tuesday, and tomorrow as well. So can't wait to continue this conversation. Maybe we'll talk about some basketball or something else tomorrow.
What's
but
that?
The Detroit, I don't know. But I know what football is, and the Detroit Lions.
I didn't have a great basketball weekend, so I'm happy to stay away from it for a while.
It's always crazy. Michigan State gets real quiet after losses, but you know.
Kool-Aid been quiet too, but it's because his squad lost. He was 1-2 over the weekend. I was 0-3.
Yeah. That's tough. Get to that a little bit later. ISIAH Pacheco, now a Detroit Lion. News happened around 1:10, if you will, Eastern time. They pick up RB2. And where are you guys at in the chat right now? I want to know, where are you guys now? Are the Detroit Lions a better team, Kool-Aid, now than they were at the end of the season?
Well, you know what? The chat is chiming in early. And
Please.
the early
let's hear
grade.
from the chat.
Yeah, look, what grade you give Brad Holmes on the Lions move so far? 12% say A. 58% say B, 28% say C, 3% say fail. We only got 4 options, so if you think he deserves a D, you can write that one in the chat.
So would those moves consider just free agency, or is that considering trades as well, like the Demo trade, releasing Taylor Decker, moves of that nature?
I set the parameter.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, everything.
How you feeling
all
about
encompassing?
the Lions?
All encompassing. Yeah. Because there are some people in the chat right now who they say, look, ISIAH Pacheco is no David Montgomery. And there's some people who feel less confident about the running back room today than if it was David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs back there. So, when we had those guys, there wasn't people that were doubting what we would be. But there's at least fans here in this chat who they don't necessarily believe that ISIAH Pacheco is the move that moves the needle.
Yeah, 100%. I tend to agree, but this is what we have to do. This is the conversation that we were having with Anson earlier. You have to taper your expectations. Like, your expectations is that you're going to get a David Montgomery back, or that the offensive coordinators, that they want to run the offense like they used to. They don't. They no longer are interested in running a situation where you have two backs that almost crack 1,000 every season. They're not interested in that. David Montgomery, if you kept him here, he's not going to be 775 and 10 touchdowns. He's not. He's not going to see the ball like that. They do not want to feature two backs. So if you're not going to feature two backs, then why would you pay a back that type of money? I want Rico Dowdle. I understand, because I agree it makes the running back room better. But if this is how they're now going to operate, then we got to look at it in a different light. We got to look at
what Jahmyr about to get paid.
What they want. Exactly. If you're going to pay Jahmyr Gibbs $20+ million, 22, I heard is the number. If you're going to pay him $20+ million to share now 67% of the load, 37%, 33% going to somebody else, I'm not paying that guy $10 million. I'm not paying that guy $8 million. So I think that's where the Lions are. But as it relates to ISIAH Pacheco, I can understand that, because you look at him and what he was with the Chiefs. He's a guy that gets injured from time to time. He's had some serious injuries at the running back position.
Be real about it.
And then he's always split time. Like, he's a guy that split time. You know,
Always.
he's never been the starter or the guy. He's a guy that split time. The reason why you love David Montgomery so much because he's a starter. Like, David Montgomery is a starting running back in this league. And you got him in a great time, a great situation, and he became your RB1B. Now he's on the greener pastures, if you will. So I definitely understand that. Isaiah's nowhere near as good as David Montgomery. But that's not what the Lions are looking for, and maybe that's the problem, Anson. People have a problem with what the Lions are looking for at this current temperament.
I think that might be the case. I definitely, if we got some time, want to hit some of these super chats as well.
Yeah, go ahead. Would love to.
Shout out to the people for supporting, man. The likes are up. If you didn't get the opportunity to, go ahead and smash that like button and continue to let us know what you think of not just ISIAH Pacheco move, but also Brad Holmes overall this free agency. Because the lens right now is not just rebuilding. It's not just to have a good team. The Super Bowl. But Teddy Fresh, $5 super chat. He says, I hate to admit it, but Anson is right. You want me to read that one more time? I'm not going to read that one more time.
Don't even say that out loud.
Almost fell off my seat.
Yeah.
The Lions, he says, are just content with competing. They're not going all in for a Super Bowl like the Rams are doing, for example.
100%.
That's what he feels like. I didn't even know that was going to be the first one. I scrolled up, and it goes right in line with what we're talking about right now. The lens of Super Bowl. I wonder how people would vote in this poll now. If it's, do you believe he's gotten them into that contention window?
Yeah, and that's the conversation that we're having right now. Realistically, like, it does not seem that they want to compete for a Super Bowl. It seems like they like to be in the conversation. It seems like they like to come and say, hey, we were in talks, but at the last second, we pulled back. That's what it seems like they like. They got their players. They extended their players. And they know that they're going to be a much better team this year due to just two moves. One is Cade Mays and one is whoever they bring on the opposite side. Speaking of that, is there any chatter from that crowd about what they want to see now? Since people aren't necessarily fully content with where we are today, what would you like to see? We kind of had that conversation yesterday. Anybody making some noise about that?
I definitely want to see where that goes from here because that I don't want, like, you know what Shep is all about, man. He doesn't want people to just complain about things, but he wants people, if you got something, bring what you want to the forefront. That's why I like the way that you broke it down. It's not like you're going and you're saying, yo, yay, I love this move, or that you even hate this move. It's not a move that you would have done in particular, but you understand that this must be signaling something a little bit different, especially when you're talking about bringing in a Drew Petzing and Mike Kafka, who's here. And shout out to Big Lomas Brown, who's saying that, bringing those guys in will allow Dan Campbell to get in a little bit more work and attention to detail as it relates to Calvin Shepard. And so what I am hoping is that, Petzing, that he has a plan in place, that he understands, like, the schemes that we're going to be running. And I'm hoping it's him who knows this stuff. I don't care how much Hank Freddy, this, that, and the other. At first, I thought it was cool when John Morton came in as the offensive coordinator, not a support, like even Kafka, right? But as the offensive coordinator, I was like, yeah, I can't wait to get with everybody so we can see what we're going to do about that run game. And so we can see this, that, and the other. And it's just like, do you have an idea? Or are you just here to kind of be, I was the guy who helped lay the foundation. What we doing next, guys? Like, I feel as if with Petzing, maybe it's a little bit more intentional with what they're going to do. And like I told you guys, this is about hope for me now. They're saying that this is going to work. Injuries aside and all that, we understand that can derail things. But as it relates to overall, I'm believing that this is something more intentional, just like the hiring of Drew Petzing. We had kind of realized they went and did a lot of their own homework and such, and that they're not just flying by the seat of their pants. So,
intentional, absolutely, because this team continues to focus on the offense. This is 3 days and 3 offensive players, right, Bray? So when are they going to help this defense, which they've been trying to overcome since these guys got here, right? What are you going to do next?
Looking at the team the way it was constructed, like, one thing, just watching the moves, if you ask me what did I grade Brad Holmes so far in his moves, I'd say a B-. I think, to be honest,
fair.
That feels like you being nice to him too.
And it is being nice. C plus really is the grade for right now. You got a running back too who's just okay, had some injuries. You're not going to feature him like that, and he never has scored a ton of touchdowns. You got a center that I approve of. That's my solid B move. Like, getting Cade Mays is an 85 for me, and then everything else is going down, if you will. acquisition of a depth piece. Yeah. If you're not going to make moves consistently like other teams have, teams that were ahead of you, the Chicago Bears have made 5 moves in this situation. The Rams, even though they were where they were, still made 4 moves and still are acquiring defensive backs, still are being aggressive. The Dallas Cowboys, I know they were behind us. They're making moves to try to get up to where we were. You got to make some moves. If they're not making moves, the only way that this can make me happy, if they're not making moves, they're saving money, they're offloading people, they're not signing guys back. Hopefully, the next conversation is Jared Goff, what's up with the contract renegotiation or the restructuring? Because that's a major move in terms of having money on the books. But
that's right.
There's a guy out there that the position that I want, the position that we need, the position that we've been talking about for 5 years, the position that we're good.
Punter?
No. Although punters are going for a lot of money right now.
We got the punter, baby.
100%. The punter's up right now.
I might have a super chat in here for you, too, for the name. I'm gonna see what you're going to say.
The name is the name. The name is not a name you don't know. The name is a guy that's trying to find $30+ million in the open market, and guess what? He ain't finding it.
You and Dante thinking alike right now.
Because Dante knows his stuff. Nobody's pulling that trigger and calling you-know-who and Trey Hendrickson. And maybe that deal, maybe that number, maybe that ticket is not where we nearly thought it was going to be last season, the season before, halfway through this season. Maybe that's a move that they're working on. And once again, it's all speculation because you don't know what you don't know. But if they're waiting, if they're not moving, like let's call it spade a spade. Yeah, they were 9-8 last year, but they struggled. There were teams they lost they had no business losing to. You're a lesser version than yourself. When you get to the free agent market, when the ticket opens up, Anson, moves should be coming. Moves should be being made on a consistent trajectory. If you're not making some of those moves, maybe you're waiting in the wings, and maybe you're waiting for that move. Because I guarantee you, tell me I'm wrong, Chad, if we found out in about 20 minutes that we signed Trey Hendrickson, what's the conversation look like?
How quickly Maskin chases underwear.
Hey, look, Dante151 said $4.99 super chat. It's kind of surprising that Hendrickson has yet to be picked up because he wants $30 to $40 million contract, which is insane in my eyes. I think though, the longer this plays out, why not the Detroit Lions? When you talk about those, hey, the Lions have been known to knock on the door and then run away just so that they can say we knocked on the door. One of those players in which the door was knocked on was Trey Hendrickson. There's only a few of these things that's leaked, but then it's like an actual name on it, like reported by this. And it was reported that Brad Holmes did at one of those trade deadlines knock on the door of the Bengals, but they wanted way too much for Mr. Trey Hendrickson at the time, and he just, I think that was when he went with Big Z. Zadarius Smith.
Oh, Zadarius.
Yep.
Big Z, Zadarius Smith.
That's interesting.
Enjoying retirement.
I'm surprised nobody cracked jokes about ISIAH Pacheco being injured. You know, that's always the...
Hey, that's a Brad guy.
It's always the Brad Holmes
like
thing.
that.
Is he injured? Let's get this guy in.
Perfect.
Yeah, 100%. But we'll have more on that with the Detroit Lions. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I got a couple more.
Go ahead.
Super chats, man. They've been doing their thing, man. I got nothing but love for the chat family.
I think they're excited for the Lions again. It's not.
Is it the
it's
chat?
not optimal, but it's exciting.
You talking about the chat?
Yeah, just over what the Lions are doing. It's a start. You gotta love the maze. I gotta see some defense.
I think people actually are just excited more so on the transactional stuff. I think that's a conversation that's been happening.
They're actually bringing people in,
or just in general. Like this time of year, people get more excited than the season. You don't remember 2 years ago when the Lions were great and they was kicking everybody's ass, and what were we saying? This is boring. Like people were tuning out of games. Like, man, you wish you had those times back. But
yeah,
yes, we do.
No more mock draft season.
Exactly. People were tuning out of games, and you're like, oh man, well, we don't even have to watch the rest of it. We know how good we are. Oh, we're 15 wins. We're winning every week. Guys aren't watching. Now, that transactional period though, what players are going where, who's got traded, who's getting picked up. I think it's because we're not used to seeing so many things on the move like it has been in the last 5 years, Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir. Hey, and shout out to you people for supporting Chat Family as always. Smash that like button if you didn't get the opportunity to. Freddie Felt with the $1.99 super chat.
I missed him 2 weeks ago.
Hey, shout out to the legend, man. He says, "Hey, Brad," to quote the Bullies from House Party. I don't know which side of the fence Freddie Felt is on right now. I think he wants to see a little bit more. He says he'll go 0 for 17 for 5 straight seasons for a Lombardi, if that's what it took to get there. You know what? For a championship for these Lions, man, I definitely would do that too. Give me one, and then let's rock. We'll worry about everything else later. Charles with the $2 super chat.
It's the goal is the goal. The goal is a championship. So as you want to kick the can down the road for another 5 years or find a way to make this thing work where you can win 11 to 12 games over 5 years, the goal is a championship. I mean, because at this point, you went to the NFC Championship, you won 12 games. Guess what? The Lions have done that already in their history. The one thing that they've never done is the Super Bowl, and that's what the aim is.
That's what exactly what I was about to say.
Get there.
They haven't lost. They haven't gone, 2 seasons in a row winless, and they still haven't went to the Super Bowl. I'll definitely take 5 of them boys if it meant that we get to see our team walking from Detroit all the way to Pontiac of Woodward with the Lombardi. But Charles, with the $2 super chat, he says this. Do you think Brad and Dan will be here next year?
Yes.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, 100%. The reason why is because they formed a holy trinity. Now, depending on what is the rest of that question? Will they be here next year? You got to add something to that. What do they finish this season coming up for that question? Like if they don't make
0-17, they're still back. Okay, they won 4.
Wait,
they had
you
4
think if they
straight.
go winless, they'll still be back.
Dan might be gone.
0-17, somebody's getting fired.
Well, listen, how many times do you come in and sweep out everyone? Doesn't happen often. It happens on the heels of multiple bad, terrible seasons. Remember, even though we didn't make the playoffs this year, it's 4 straight winning seasons, the first time since the 1950s.
You keep running that out here.
Well, and I do, because this is a franchise that hasn't tasted meat for since the 50s.
Anson, but here's the problem with this conversation is we no longer live in a day and era where extending consistency matters. Like we live in a results now business. We live in a
What were the results, Bray? We had the highest tickets last year.
What I'm saying is we live in a championship-based era.
Not the Lions.
So no one cares. Like
we don't
live in the era. If this was 1990 and the Lions are doing what they're doing, you can ride that for 20 years. Because that would be valid, because that's how the era approached goodness or greatness or success. We now live in an era where everything is about getting the championship.
They don't in Allen Park, brother.
I'm just telling you.
I'm just telling you they don't. They don't let that influence the way they're doing stuff.
I know, but
if they fall on their face and only win 4 games, I'm telling you, Brad and Dan are both back to do it.
I heard you, but you make that comment all the time, and I'm just answering this next one. Like, are we just going to keep making that comment?
Well, yeah, if you guys keep answering me the question, it's going to be the same answer.
I didn't ask you, but.
He did.
Yeah. I just run it. What they are is not fair to the fans then, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because the fans
and we talked about that.
Yeah.
To open the show.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to get tone deaf with the fans. I know that they can't necessarily take the suggestions of us as it relates to their professional job, but I don't want them to be tone deaf to what we expect, even if it's not their same expectation. They need to understand it's been a very, 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 very long time.
They know what we expect and want and desire and covet. That's very clear.
I hear that. But then that's where, when you talk about the fans and what you're going to do, you can't be then stepping to the podiums at press conferences and talking down to media and talking down to fans.
Cooley, let me reply to that.
Doesn't make sense.
5 years ago, what did we want? We just wanted
Super Bowl.
No,
I did.
No,
quarterback.
I did.
Hold on.
You can't speak for me.
Hold on.
Speak for you.
5 years ago, this town just wanted good football. That's all they wanted, because it had been a long time since we had good football. Period. That's what we wanted. We wanted to be relevant. We wanted to not be embarrassed that we had season tickets. And that's what they have given us. That's what they have brought this town better and more consistently than any other GM and coach since the 50s.
Well, shame on them for getting complacent.
I'm not
shame on them for
taking
being
shame
complacent.
away.
Because
I'm
at the
just
end of the
stating
day,
facts.
when you get to certain levels, you want to get to the next level. If the first level was to have good football, then the next level was to have playoff football, which the next level would be Super Bowl and championship football, and which should stay there if you've achieved that. Like that's the level.
I'm not disagreeing with that either.
Yeah, that's the level. That's what we. What else do we have over there?
Oh, no, I got a couple more super chats in here as well before we get to the next break. Because the people they're doing their thing today. I think the discourse and the conversation, it represents a little bit of everybody who got something to say about the Lions. But VTDET 49 super chat says Apollo trained Rocky so he could learn and unlock new things. That is that moment, eyes of the lion. I wonder if he means as it relates to some of the young offensive linemen that are going to be there. Thomas.
That's an amazing. That was an amazing movie. Part 3.
Talk about it.
But it goes back to that comment. He brought up Apollo, and I love it. What did Apollo say in Rocky 3? What did Apollo say in Rocky 3? Rocky was having one of those depressed days. He was worrying about life. He was worrying about getting his ass kicked by Clubber Lang. He was worried about his marriage. He was worried about everything else. And he told Apollo one crazy thing. He said, you know what, man, I just do it tomorrow. He said, we can just do it tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. That's what Apollo told Rocky. Now, I don't have to say it as loud as that, but those tomorrows, they start to get less and less and less and less until you look up one day and you're like, damn, how did we get here?
The Creed franchise is
got me
slept
fired
on,
up,
by
dog.
the way. The Creed franchise is really good, man. If you haven't watched the 3 Creed movies, man, I wasn't expecting to be so good.
Yeah, none of them are Super Bowl winners. None of them Creeds are Super Bowl winners. They just they just won the playoff game. First one got you to the semifinals. The second one maybe was a wild card. That third one, it was a 9-8 Detroit Lions 2025 season.
And you know what? People are responding now to Anson's. We just want a good team.
No, wait a second.
Anybody out there? Hold on, dog.
5 years ago that they were demanding the Super Bowl full of it.
I'm
go. Telling you.
Let's go.
5 years ago, I just wish we had a good team.
Hold on.
Wish we had good football.
Dog, you got the chat a little worked up. I gotta read some of these, dog. Hold on. Let's get the commercial break in, and we'll come back and we'll read some of the Rusty super chats and what the chat is telling you about. They just want good football versus a Super Bowl.
And now they're SOL fan base. Come on, guys, get it together,
bro. Like 30 chats came in.
Good, man. Right. I hope there's $1.99 attached to all of those.
Hey, everybody call in or text in and just yell at Anson.
That's fine.
Actually, though, but you know what though? Like I'm actually
coming around.
When we come back, I'm not coming around, but I see conversation in there. I see conversation in there.
And I'm not saying that that's how I'd run the team.
And that's the part. Like, it's not you saying that. It's you speaking for what you see from the forwards. And realistically, they're just using you because they can't get to Sheila Ham.
That's right. And
they can't get to the forwards, so they can yell at you.
And if you don't have decades...
That's what it is. It ain't answering.
And if you don't have decades of failure, you don't get painted into the corner that this ownership and these managers are in right now. So I get it, but just a couple more years of plus football, and then you might see this team really take chances.
Yeah, I agree. The problem, I think, for a lot of people in the fan base is that you didn't have to make huge swing moves over the last 3 years to get better than what you did. You didn't have to go out and spend a ton of money. You didn't have to set your franchise back. You chose not to make moves, or you chose to make moves that were like, let's do that. That won't kill us. Yeah, let's do this one. That won't kill us. This is
the margins.
This is affordable. Yep. Yeah, you know what? We'll be this, and this will be good because this person will come around. And then a lot of those moves didn't pan out. And now in a season like this, it looks like desperation because a lot of those chances, a lot of those risk outweigh the reward moves you didn't make.
They passed them now.
100%.
You were preaching. You know what? We all cheered those moves early on. They said Brad's a genius. And I guess what we're starting to realize now is that as long as this team is healthy and has that depth, you can try and overcome that. But I thought he could do this every season. I thought, he'll be able to reload. Now I'm realizing it's a lot more difficult to do what he did those first couple of seasons.
Here's a question. Pose this question to the chat, and I promise I'm gonna read some ads, if you will. We make it about Brad, right? We make a lot of this about Brad Holmes, what Brad is doing, what Brad hasn't done. We make it about Brad. Is it a situation where he's doing what he's allowed to do?
Mandated.
So what that means is, let's not act like Sheila Ham is a $14 billion owner. Let's not act like she's got $10 billion in the bank. Her family may does, but remember, she dropped that last name, and she became Sheila Ham, and she's got $2 billion in the bank. So is that part of it as well? I can't do what my owner won't allow. So you talk about it. If you go 0-17, well, who's the one paying the taxes and saying what's not coming through?
Trucks will always come first to that family.
100%. You know what comes first to my man, Estates Title Agency, Nabi Saad? He's a guy that understands if you're buying your first home and he wants to be there for you. He wants to make the process easier. If you're refinancing, the team, the Estates Title Agency, makes the closing price easy. It makes it convenient. It makes it simple. We want things in life that are a lot simple. Let Nabi make it simple for you. He's proudly been serving Michigan since 2003 and is an expert. He is an expert. I don't use that word very lightly. He is an expert at delivering the first-class title escrow services at incredible speed and accuracy. That's what I love. That's what you should too. For all your title needs, you got to call Mr. D's, and that's Nabeed.
Hey, we're talking simple stuff. Talking sports, that is simple and it's easy. Talking real life, talking mental health, that's not so easy. But here at Woodward Sports, you are never alone. And we've partnered up with Pure Psychiatry. They provide personalized psychiatric plans designed.
Make a move. My mental health is going.
That's right. Designed specifically for you and your Lions fandom. They're not a cookie cutter plan. They got 16 locations in Michigan, 2 more down south in Ohio. They make getting help easy, accessible, and comfortable. If you've been thinking about taking that first step, check them out. You can visit them right there. You see the URL, purepsychmi.com.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, it's an ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Hold up. So,
Bye-ya.
Michigan Sports.
You know what time it is?
Hall of
HOF,
Fame, gotta
man.
recognize.
Hey, look, man.
Ooh, you got some goodies over here, huh?
Look, I put that work in on the field. You know what time it is, but that's besides the point. This is about family. This is about the city. This is about my team, and my team includes Woodward Sports. Oh, my God. I got my boy Brandon Dent in the building. KG over there, man.
Sir.
Same show. This is just a blessing to be here, man. Blessing to be with my fan. Yo, Woodward Sports, you never know what the F is going on, but it's always going to be good, though. Tell you.
Let's go.
Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Detroit sports doubleheader tonight. Both of our beloved teams on the road. Y'all need to get up on that Caesar Sportsbook app, y'all. You can place any bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you get that bet back. All you gotta do is scan that QR code, enter the code Woodward1000. If your first bet doesn't hit, you get that deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, $1,000 back. Just give it a shot. Minimum bet $20. Download that Caesar Sportsbook app today. The official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
You guys thought $5 beers were a thing of the past, didn't you? Well, they're not anymore because Sam Adams, Cherry Wheat, and Art and Jakes have teamed up to bring you $5 shorts all across Michigan on Mondays, Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. With March Madness right around the corner, you've got nothing better to pair up with college basketball than the Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. Light, refreshing, brewed with real Michigan cherries and smooth enough to sip all game, win or lose. Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. Once again, please drink responsibly.
And we back.
Welcome back to the second hour of the show, Braylon Over Show with Anson today. Always a pleasure, always a good. What's the vibes right here? Cam, how you doing? Let me check on my guy in the audio booth, man.
You know, I'm getting a little tired of watching the AFC bust it open. The NFC has to get strong here. Let's go, y'all.
Have you ever known
You're not lying.
Cam to be bad, though?
No,
Look at that.
Always in a good mood.
Look at that.
You know what's crazy? As good as the moves as the AFC has made over the last couple of years, if you look at the last, 5 Super Bowls, I think they got, 1 win? And that would be the Chiefs. The Chiefs went back-to-back, so they got 2. Because you got Eagles have won, Rams have won, Seahawks have won now. Last 3 Super Bowls, 1, 2, 3, yeah. And then the Kansas City Chiefs. Anyway, but yeah, they are making moves. I mean, whether it's Baltimore and Max Crosby.
Ravens.
How better?
Jesse Minter scooping up Crosby like that.
Do you think the Ravens are better, same, or worse right now?
They're absolutely better. I mean, that's a very good defense that lost most of their playmakers for about half of the season last year. Saw them playing well early. Then, Lamar suffers an injury. The defense suffers injuries. They were still a tough out all season long. Look at them in the same type of situation that the Lions are in. They should get healthy. They should get the benefit of a bad schedule. And they should be right back in the playoffs. But when you add a guy like that onto that team, maybe they actually even draft some legitimate non-wide receiver 2 weapons for Lamar. I said it yesterday. Could be Lamar's year.
Boye Mafe, as you talked about earlier, going to the Cincinnati Bengals. Going to be an interesting division. I was thinking about Joe Burrow having to be quarterback in that division. He's got to see T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, and now Max Crosby.
But maybe not Trey Hendrickson.
He's on the team, so it wouldn't matter anyway. Kool-Aid, what we got coming down that pipeline?
I was going to say, man, a lot of the people in the chat right now, they took a little umbrage to Anson's statement as it relates to a good team is all people want.
No. Was. And I don't care how upset you guys get because you're full of shit.
Listen to these people, man. All right. Chandler in the chat says, bro, Stafford gave us a good team. Caldwell gave us a
and you chased Stafford out of town. And you chased Caldwell out of town.
What is Anson talking about? Good obviously wasn't enough. Super Bowl is the only thing that matters.
When was the last year we had a good team? What was that, 16? 2016? When was the last time we had a team that was good?
I'm going to have to side with Anson. If that's the comments coming out of every single person in that thread, if that's what they're saying, I'm going to have to side with Anson. Because legit, it pains me to say that. You guys, first of all, you guys know our relationship. It pains me to say that. So I'm not just jumping on his team because he's on the desk.
I've been swaying his opinion a little bit the last couple of days. I love it.
But realistically, when you look at the Detroit Lions, ladies and gentlemen, please don't sit here and lie to Anson. Like in 2020, starting in 2015, 7-9, 9-7, 9-7, 6-10, 3-12, 5-11, 3-13, 1. See, you guys forgot.
Yeah, you did.
Because you had those 2 years, you forgot. The Lions legitimately crave relevancy and you wanted to go to the playoffs.
We're good now.
That's what it was.
We just want a playoff win, Bray. That's all they wanted was a playoff win.
You guys got Caldwell fired, saying 10 wins wasn't enough. How'd that work out for you? Then you get Quinn Trisha, and you see how ugly things can get. After firing one guy and then having those guys and seeing what they would do, winning is all you talk about. It's like, you know what? We just want to make the playoffs. That's what the conversation was here. But what happens in this day and age, and this is what I was telling Anson, everybody, it gets faster. You move the can down. It's like, what? All right, bet. We just want to be good. Then you go 3-13-1. You go 9-8. It makes you a winning team. Then you go 12-5 NFC Championship. Now you're a winning team that's made it to the dance and won your division. And then the next year you go 15-2. You win your division again. Now the aspirations, which is fair, which is true, Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl and bust. And to your point, when your GM, your head coach, and all the players, when they consistently reiterate that throughout the last 3 seasons, ladies and gentlemen, you have no problem and you have no business. No business. You guys are absolutely correct.
Freddie Felt, I just took a dump. I'm no longer full of shit. Does he support mine or no? I can't figure that one out.
They beefing right now, so it's probably on the bad side. It's probably on the bad side.
He's not a huge Jansen fan.
Yeah. But this is one of those situations, though. Because at the end of the day, man, like, you don't have to be a fan of everybody to understand what they're saying. Sometimes good things come out of people that you don't like, or they come out of things that you don't necessarily agree with. So I think back in that day, you look at that snapshot of those seasons where they were just horrible. They were pitiful football. They weren't well coached. You just had players that did not want to be here. This became, once again, which it had been, the cash grab plays. Let me come and do a contract. Let me get some money, get in, get out. That's what Detroit had become. You wanted relevance. You got relevance. And now the goals, and this is where I talked to Anson, this is where the Lions, this is where they got to understand the fan base. It changes. Like, the expectation changes. So.
Overnight,
Help
the
them
expectations
out.
here change. And listen, that's what we wanted. When we said we wanted relevant football and we wanted to get a playoff win, the first one in 25, 30 years, we meant that.
Yeah.
And then obviously, once we got that, we're expected to want more. But the fact is right now, Lions fans forget who delivered us 4 straight winning seasons. They forget who delivered us 2 playoff wins, and it took those guys 3 years, okay? Still a 9-8 team last year that suffered crazy injuries. The year before, 15-2, crazy injuries. Yes, this team has some bad luck in their favor or their non-favor. But you have to crawl before you can walk. You have to walk before you can run. And the fact is this team is back off of the ground, and they are on 2 feet. Whether or not you have to take that huge plunge and that big gamble, well, it looks like we got some new breaking news. Nothing crazy, but listen, this team is a winning franchise now. You can't take that away from them. But yes, you're right. This is the time. And if it's not this year, it has to be very soon where they take that plunge.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're talking. I had something to say, but this news broke. Breaking news. Nothing crazy. Malcolm Rodriguez, your favorite New Mexico State linebacker, is still with Oklahoma State. Excuse me.
Fan base couldn't have taken losing him. That one would have really hurt the fan base.
People were upset with, or at least a little hurt by Lopez. He got his money, well deserved. But with this one's interesting to me because he's always played above his draft positioning, in my opinion. Yeah. He's always kind of played above what people, the money or even the hoopla. And I remember that clip where Kelvin Shepard was just basically singing this guy's praises and like, y'all really can't beat him out. And you just continue to see what he's doing. Before he got injured, I actually liked what he's bringing to the table. It's not just from the linebacker position in terms of a little bit of coverage, but his ability to actually get into the backfield a little. So it'll be interesting to see if that part of his game comes back with him as well, to be able to at least have that much more to try and chase a quarterback around with. But shout out to Malcolm Rodriguez.
I'm glad he's back. Congratulations to him. I think his wife might be pregnant too, along those lines. Like, he's just an okay player though. Like moves like this is why people get mad. Like, this is it's like, oh my God, like people are making moves. They're bringing in Devin Lloyds and we're re-signing Malcolm Rodriguez. This tells me though that they're legitimately going to draft a linebacker in this draft, and maybe that's what you might see in that second round. Getting back to Brad Holmes, though, in terms of what he's done over the line, 100%. Brad Holmes has made some really good moves here. He's drafted some really good players.
Best GM?
But the problem is, Anson, with the injuries, you bring up the injuries. when you're taking all these effing chances and these risky and these in the middle rounds, where, let me see if this guy is going to work. Ooh, what if we get this guy? We fell in love with him. You are making all these moves in those rounds, and those are crucial spaces. When you get guys injured, that's where you have your depth. That's where you have your guys that can come in. But when you're taking these chances and you're wasting draft picks, essentially, you don't have that depth. So when you get guys that get injured, i.e. Branch, i.e. Joseph, i.e. insert player here, you don't have that depth because you didn't draft well.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Have you been to Caseville before?
Oh, you see,
it's a fun town.
Hamburger.
Oh,
I don't know how you could be from Caseville and be so angry all the time. Shout out to KG. He has to deal with his biggest fan, Caseville country boy.
Oh,
Caseville does not believe that that Brad Holmes is the best GM that we have had here in Detroit. So I guess I'll give it up to you guys. Who is better?
You mean the best one currently?
No, just the best ever.
Oh, he has to get a championship for me.
Who's better than Brad Holmes that's been in Detroit GM?
I like what the Wings were doing.
Kenny Howard.
No, Kenny Howard, but no.
No, I'm talking the Lions, brother.
Oh, Lions. Oh, yeah, 100. No,
that's why I'm bringing in Trader Jack McCloskey into the conversation.
That's why I asked the question. I was like, what? He has no championship.
Hands down. It's not even a competition, right? There's no competition.
Lions 88 to 90 had some good draft picks.
Sure.
Now, they had some really good draft picks from 88 to 90. They did a similar thing in going to the NFC Championship. It's not necessarily that GM's fault that certain players either died or got paralyzed, etc. So they had set them up in 88, 89, 90, 91 with some pretty good drafts. I'm not saying it was better than Brad Holmes. That would be the only period that I could mention.
Give it some homage, though.
Yeah, 100%. Showing some love right there. I mean, because you don't draft the greatest running back in NFL history and just throw that off. Or Lomas Brown, or there's some moves in there.
Because my Lions fandom, it did. When cognitively, it was based off of those picks. You know, when you talk about Porsche and Herman Moore and some of those teams, they had some dogs, actually.
Benny Blades.
Benny Blades, baby.
I didn't mean to actually just rush over that era, actually.
But to your point, when you look at what Brad Holmes, regardless of how many picks he had, regardless of whatever, what you look what they were able to do in 2023, it was a damn good draft. Like it was a damn good draft. Like very rarely do you give out an A without batting an eye, and that was one of those situations where you go exactly. And so that draft has him in a situation where you can't argue anybody against that draft. When you look at Lions' former GMs, Kool-Aid.
Yep. And for me, Brad Holmes, obviously in this current, you're right, man. This guy has done things that others haven't done. His teams have gone out there and won championships. And right now, realistically, I believe that a lot of us are up in arms because a lot of our teams are so close to the next step, whether it's a Super Bowl for some teams, whether it's the next round or two in the playoffs for some teams, or for the Red Wings if it's making the playoffs. And we've seen them, what a lot of us would describe over the last few years, kind of sit on their hands. Now we see Brad Holmes with the best opportunity to get the Lions something we didn't even think was possible 5 years ago. But we wanted it 5 years ago.
It's entirely possible in 2 years.
It's entirely possible.
But entirely possible in 2 years, all the fans in this town are super happy over the patience our GMs have shown. Because the Tigers are a young squad. The Pistons and Red Wings are a young squad.
Some people
the core players for the Leos are young. Okay, so the future's bright.
The future is bright, but that's why I love doing our job. Our job, we're allowed to point out where individuals may have made a mistake or they weren't necessarily best on that day. Speaking of, since you want to bring up GMs, we can take a break from Brad Holmes. Everybody loved everything that Trajan Langdon has done. Every single move Trajan Langdon has made, we've greenlit it. We've said good stuff. He's our guy. What about not making a move at the trade deadline? And now look at where the Pistons are.
I was going to say until now. There's a lot of people who are
the more information you have. Because right now, how many people looking at Trajan Langdon with a batted eye?
Yeah, and they believe he didn't do enough to get that extra score. Even if it wasn't a star. They were like, we need somebody else who would do something with the ball.
Like Dennis Schroeder? You got to play against now?
And you know what? Sacramento, they saw the talent he was. They went and threw the money at him. Yeah. They just don't got nobody to throw the talent together out there in Sacramento. Schroeder goes now to a contender. And you know what? I believe that he should have been one of those guys they made a point to bring back this year.
Yeah, 100%. And the reason why I bring that up, Kool-Aid and Anson, it's not because I'm saying Trajan Lang's a bad GM. It's not like I'm saying, oh, man, Trajan Lang, he screwed the pooches over. I'm just basically saying you can point out where guys make a mistake, even if you also, in that same breath, say you like the moves they made. You like where they elevated the team to 100%. Because Trajan Laney, it's a miss right there, and it's going to cost the Pistons in the playoffs. But everything else to this point is going to be well, and we'll see what they do in this playoff.
You know why Schroeder didn't come back here this year, Kool-Aid?
I don't mind that.
Because Cade lost his phone number.
That was hilarious.
Great mic'd up moment from an NBA game. You just missed it. Schroeder was like, man, don't talk to me now. You lost my number. You wouldn't answer the phone over the summer.
You get the MVP chance now.
Listen, I've been telling you guys since the beginning of the season that this stretch coming out of the All-Star break was going to make or break this team and show us who they really were. The problem, this stretch didn't happen at the end of January. Because if this stretch happens at the end of January, hey, I know Neil going to lose it, and I know you guys gave me hell the other day, and I know I'm going to pay hell in the chat right now. This team misses Jaden Ivey because Danis is getting far too many minutes. Call him Catfish Jenkins. We can do that because he catfished the whole city, including management.
I will say
y'all been making excuses for that guy, and they made enough excuses to the point where they got rid of Jaden Ivey. Nobody can bring the ball up for this team. Nobody in the second unit has any composure in a tight game. And now all of a sudden, JB wants to put this guy on the court with the last 3 minutes of the game. I do not understand it. Listen, that you want to talk about James Harden, Keon Ellis, and Schroeder going to Cleveland is as big or bigger than Harden going there because Keon Ellis is going to be all over Cade on the perimeter. And then that second unit, you saw it. They didn't even have Harden against us. It was Schroeder that crushed us that game.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue or disagree with you or anything. The one thing I will say is we don't know what conversations are had by owners and players. One of the biggest thing about Jaden Ivey, it wasn't necessarily a situation perhaps where they just said, hey, we're going to move you here. We're going to bring in Kevin Huerter. We're going to do this thing. I'm telling you, it could have been a situation where it's like, I don't feel like this is a spot for me anymore.
I think it was a lot of that.
So if that's the case, then.
I think it was a lot of that. Yeah. But you look at the minutes that this kid's getting, and if you have the benefit of hindsight, you can see how much our second team is struggling out there. This is a guy that changed the speed of the game, that can handle the rock, that was shooting 38% from three, and is not a liability defensively. Not great. I know he's got a negative plus-minus, but you put him on the second squad, typically you're going to see that. If you could have reached this young man, because obviously it seems like he's struggling more with the Bulls than he was here, and if you can reach that young man and say, hey, listen, the minutes that we've been prioritizing to Danis Jenkins, you're going to start getting those. You're going to see 20 minutes a game. You start feeding his confidence. You start finding the player that we saw before that leg break. And realistically, I really think that we miss Jaden Ivey right now in that second unit.
That may be fair. Speaking of Chicago, let's switch back to the NFL and switch back to the Detroit Lions. Kool-Aid, for me, the bigger conversation is just winning your division. If you win your division, you get to the dance, right? That's the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, the Detroit Lions, what place they finished in their division?
Last. And that was something I wanted to ask you. I know in the past, the NFC North it's been plentiful in the playoffs. But with some of the additions that you see in the NFC and what some of these other teams are doing to kind of lock up and get ready and loaded for the season, is it basically NFC North title or bust for the Lions when you're talking about the playoffs?
As it relates to...
if they don't win that title... obviously they're gonna have a chance.
I see what you're saying.
The NFC is looking a little bit more like they're trying to make sure some other teams step up and
the Bears are the best. The Bears are the best team in the division right now. Minnesota beat you twice last year. Obviously, you have a better quarterback than they do, but they're one quarterback away from being a better team than the Detroit Lions currently. And the Minnesota, 100%. And Green Bay, I don't know what they are right now, but last year they beat you twice as well. Green Bay made a couple moves, got rid of Rashawn Gary. They brought in Zaire Franklin, added a DB in St. Just. We'll see what that looks like with more news. But you got to win your division to be a threat to winning Super Bowl. If the goal is the Super Bowl, if the goal is to get as far as you can in the playoffs, winning your division is a start. And that's what we saw when we won it 2 years in a row. You've gone from being the favorite, you've gone from being the king in the North, all the Game of Thrones references, to your last place last season when we believed this was a team that was going to go to the NFC Championship. That's why when you look at moves, that's why when you look at lackluster moves, and there is plenty of time, that's when you look at lackluster moves like, it's not even about competing with or contending with the NFC. It's about your own division first. Getting back to being the best or getting back to contending with your own division, which seems like Ben Johnson may have a hold on it right now.
I'm wondering how that schedule is going to play out for the Lions. As soon as I'm about to say, Stephen Baffy, I see you, he says, last place schedule, check. Ability to low manage stars with high quality depth, check. The Lions will win 3 to 6 more games this year on schedule alone and be much more rested for a run. But I do wonder, like, even though they can take advantage of some of those things, like the lens, I know that Bray and Shep and Anson, we've been, effectively looking at them through is those top teams in the league and not just can they survive this season.
So, I love that it's already changed. We're now looking at the Detroit Lions, and the conversation we're having is because of the schedule, because of a last place schedule. That's what we're now looking at to help us out. Like, that's where the Lions have gotten to, where we need to play a New England Patriots-like schedule to get to the Super Bowl.
I'm not there. Do you remember after week 1 this year, you gave me hell? You asked me a question, rate or rank the teams in the NFC North, and I still held the Lions at number 1 after losing to Green Bay.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I have to tip my cap to you because you were correct. When I look at these 4 teams in the NFC North right now, I don't believe that one is much higher or lower than the rest. I believe all 4 are very, very good teams. Last 2 years, we've seen 5 teams come out of the playoffs in the NFC North, so that's 2.5 per year. I don't think that any one of these teams has fallen off. I think that all 4 teams, maybe the Lions have lost a little bit of what we thought they were, but I think that all 4 of these teams are right neck and neck. So I'd be really surprised to not see 2 make it to the playoffs. I don't think that the Lions need to win the division to get in the playoffs. I don't think the Lions need to win the division to get to the Super Bowl. But it sure, as you said, helps.
You said the teams are still the same and nobody fell off. See, this is where I disagree with you. 3 years ago, the Green Bay Packers, was it 4 years ago? The Green Packers didn't make the playoffs. Neither did the Bears, neither did the Vikings. Like, the Vikings missed 3 of 4.
Yeah, but the year before that, they had won 14 games.
And I understand that, but then they sucked the year before that. They sucked this year. The Bears.
I don't think they sucked this year. I thought they had terrible quarterback play. And as you said, with a new quarterback, I think that, listen.
I'm making a comment, and that comment is the Lions were ahead.
I'm talking about rosters. Now. And yes, if anything I pointed out, I thought the Lions were above these other teams.
They were.
So I will agree. If there's a team that's taken a step back a little bit, it's the Lions. But I still believe that all 4 of these teams are pretty neck and neck.
That's fine. And I agree with that. The fact that they were ahead.
And I think that these 4 teams are in the upper half of teams in the NFC. So I think, once again, you'll see more than one come out.
Now look, we got the poll up if the season started today. Where do you think Lions would finish in the NFC North? Based on the move so far, 35% of this chat, 33% believe the Lions will be kings of the North. You got second place coming in at 29%, third place at 25%. Only 11% of the people believe that they're going to repeat a last place finish in the division. So it looks like some people, even though they might be upset,
Kool-Aid and cornbread in that chat, baby.
Enough has gone on. They still believe in this, which is different. We've heard these people talk in the last few days. We even know how we feel, but they are still bullish on these lines. It's now getting away. It's like 39-40% kings of the North.
Well, they're not bullish. They're liars. Yeah, I'm calling y'all liars. It's okay. People lie from time to time, but y'all lying right now. Because realistically, all the worry that you have, all the lack of confidence in Browns, all the comments that you make when you're bound, well, he's not doing this, well, they're not doing that, well, she's not going to spend any money. Oh, I can't see. Why didn't they make this move? Those comments that you make are really how you feel. But when it comes to saying stuff like, well, who's going to win? You say the Lions because, well, you want the Lions to win. Be honest. Be honest. If the season started right now, what do you really feel? What do you really feel as it relates to the moves that I've heard you complain about from Brad Holmes? What do you really feel as it relates to the roster that is currently constructed? We know you love the superstars, but what about those other players? What is Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch? What is that going to look like this year? Malcolm Rodriguez and Jack Campbell are now your linebackers. Congratulations. I mean, who's going to be the middle? Derek Barnes? So what do you really feel? How do you really feel about this Detroit Lions team? Because listening to you yesterday, listening to you on Friday, listening to you for the last 2 weeks, you guys weren't saying they're going to win. You guys weren't saying, no, we know they're going to be the Kings in the North, and they're going to return back to what they were the previous year and the year before that.
They changed since Friday, dog.
Like, I'm just saying, be honest.
On Friday, the sky was falling.
Yesterday, the sky was falling.
With Decker won out.
Like, after we initially got on here, remember? After we initially got on here and started talking about Cade Mays, everybody was excited for how long? For
half the show, maybe.
Half the show, maybe 30 minutes, and then you start looking at all the other moves.
We need this, we need that.
So it's okay to be honest. Man, what the Detroit Lions have done right now, they have not done enough to be the Kings in the North. Now, they have time, they have draft, they will have money, but right now, no, I don't think they've done enough.
Teddy Fresh mad with $5. Yeah, they are liars, Braylon.
Thank you.
They are the worst team in the division, period.
I'm not
being content with being good to make the playoffs is pathetic.
I'm not even saying they're the worst team in the division right now. Like, realistically, like, unless Minnesota gets a quarterback, you're better than Minnesota, although we saw how it played out last year.
Packers lost a lot of talent last
year. And that's what I was about to say.
Weird stuff.
So the Packers might be on a bit of a see you next season.
Yeah, they did
like,
some
not
weird
this year,
stuff,
but
bro.
2028. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Season?
Yeah. For the Packers.
See you next trophy?
Season, if you will. Anyway, anything left in this, and we can get back to.
Oh man, look, we got a couple
a lot of super chats.
There's
that's
a
why
lot of super
that's
chats.
why I was trying to let it go.
Yeah, let me get these read up here because the people have been doing their thing. Chat family, smash that like button if you haven't gotten the opportunity to. But let's see here, where we gonna start? There was a couple Sheila ones here from Charles. He says, "Gosh, after how Sheila felt losing season, they back." $2 super chat from him. He says, based on that, Sheila can't afford 0 Super Bowls. Charles has been just kind of going off in this chat. Thomas also with the $2 super chat says, Bray, is this on Sheila? She paid Brad. So it's a lot more Sheila talk in the chat today than I've seen in recent times. It used to just be all hell Queen Sheila. Now it seems like Brad and Sheila and
propaganda is
even Dan
taking root, Kool-Aid.
I think
man.
It's a fair question. That's kind of why I pose it. You know, look, Brad Holmes, at the end of the day, we know what he's done in terms of the good moves. And sometimes people can only do what they're allowed to do. And Sheila Hemp, she's the one controlling the pocketbook. She's the one, hey, excuse me, Sheila, there's this tackle that we like. Can we? No?
Nah.
Okay. Now I got to go to the press conference and make
like
it
my mom
seem
at
like
Target.
Hemp cuffs? They're wearing hemp cuffs?
Shut up. Shut up. But that's real. So
the heckler is real.
Is some of this, a lot of this, yeah, 100%. She's the owner of the franchise, you know, and owners tend to come up when things are going well, and we see her when the Lions are 15-2 and 12-5, and they win big games. You see her, but lately, when it's been a struggle, we haven't seen her as much. It was good to see her that one time earlier in the season last year. I think she came in and doubled down on the squad again, but there was something to that message. There was something to that community letter that she sent to ticket holders. We pointed out a lot of wording, a lot of words in there. Sheila wasn't about no games this year, and I think she's distancing herself, and she's giving Brad the rope, see what he can do.
Especially after that end of the season letter.
Yeah, that's what.
New and improved hemp cuffs, produced by Ford.
This guy over here. Answers off the rails. We're gonna talk.
I'm pretty proud of the hemp cuffs.
I love it. Handcuffs. Man, we're going to get a message in from Dr. Pierce.
We're going to get a message from the Lions.
We're going to get a message in from Dr. Pierce. Let me tell you about the good old doc, man. Trust the guy that we trust. The Injury Insider. We will see him in 2 days where he gives us all the injury insight, the news around the league, around sports, let you know who's coming back, what's going to be the process. And also, too, he can get you the right diagnosis. It's not about getting diagnosed. It's about getting the right diagnosis so you can attack it with the right plan. 248-426-9944. Scan this QR code above my head. Dr. Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine.
April in the D is right around the corner, and that means that Detroit's unofficial holiday, Tigers opening day, is just upon us. Friday, April 3rd, we will be downtown. It'll be all hands on deck. Bray, D-Mac, everybody from Woodward will be down there. We'll be at the Grand Slam opening day festival. Thousands of people, heated tents, DJs, truck food, I forget what they call that, all the great stuff that you want, and we will be broadcasting live. What food truck?
You said truck food. I love it.
Hey, whatever.
I like truck food.
I like food that comes from trucks. Listen, man, after that, we're going to be shifting the party at 1 p.m. for first pitch. We'll be at Buddy's Downtown Detroit, the original since 1946, the creators of the pizza that has swept the nation. Detroit's original deep dish pizza. Join us downtown Friday, April 3rd. Detroit baseball is back.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network. You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports. Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shaq Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero, icy and true. Feel the chill, it's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill sub-zero.
It's game on at Art & Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art & Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Looking for dinner plans and sizzle? Look no further than Black Rock Bar and Grill, a top rock experience. When you go there, you get the best service. They'll treat you nice. All the food is fresh. And you also get a chance to visit the home of steak on a stone. I got to tell you, man, like the prime meat that they choose these days, pause on that, is amazing. And the steak on the stone, 755-degree volcanic rock, they just do it right. Doesn't matter what you get there, it's going to taste up to perfection, because that's what they do. The drinks, the specials, they got everything you need. They got the price points you need, and like I said, it is a good time. So come on down to Black Rock Bar and Grill, because it is a top rock experience.
And if you're taking your girl to Black Rock, you gotta get to Lady Jane's first, man. It is simple, it is easy. You can walk in anytime, 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Sit down, relax, and you're gonna leave looking good, ready for your date at Black Rock. Lady Jane's, it is wicked awesome.
And we back.
It's like every time I think like the game of pause is done for forever.
It comes back.
I see some 7-year-old talking about, man, pause. Like, you said, like what do you know about the game?
It morphed from that's what she said to pause.
Nah, when I was, it was something before it was pause.
Can't say it here?
No.
Fair enough.
I get politically
somebody got suspended in the NBA for that.
This is true.
Feel free to
Roy
put it in the
Hibbert.
chat to help me out there, guys.
Yeah.
And basically kind of shadow banned.
It rhymes with no FOMO.
Oh, I know that one.
There you go.
No Diddy.
See, I said FOMO.
No Diddy. That one lasted very short.
Yeah, because it was.
It went from like, he's a free golf specialist to this guy's a criminal.
Well, the crazy thing about it is there's nothing illegal about being a freak.
Yeah.
There's something illegal about that baby oil, though.
There's not. There's nowhere in
Had extra contents, bro.
There's nowhere in the law book that says you can't own 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
If you add stuff to them, you can't.
What do you add? But that wasn't
illicit drugs, bro.
But that's not what was said.
I heard that they
No. Don't go by what you heard. Go by those court documents. The court documents, the only thing they were able to get him for was the Mann Act, traveling across the state line with women in terms of doing sexual acts. Exactly. But even that, how many times have you going out of town with a woman?
Yeah, but they consensually left with me.
Same. 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 It's the truth. It's the same.
I don't know, man.
It's the same, 100%. None of these women came to testify in a court of law. Said, "Oh my God, he drugged me." We went on an escapade from Arizona to L.A.
I'm ready to segue to Wolverine basketball talk out of that one.
Well, segue then. You the one who kept going.
No, I let's keep going on No Diddy. I don't want to talk that game on the weekend. Listen, basketball was rough this last week.
You don't want to talk that game because your coach got broken. It's the very first.
No, my coach didn't get broken.
He did.
First and foremost, okay, Dusty May is the neighbor you don't want. That is the pain in the ass down the street. The guy is smug. Everyone has an issue with him. Now, the team that they have put together is amazing. I think it is important to point out that Yaxel is from the same class as Jalen Green, Cade Cunningham, and many other old men. Listen, that team's tremendous. They're big, they're fast, and they're skilled. They're not incredibly disciplined, though, and that will be an issue that they run into where they try and shoot themselves out of a tight game, and that three won't be falling for one game in the tournament. Can they overcome that?
No, I agree, and I as it relates to Dusty May or whatever, I don't care what you say about him. I know that he won the Big Ten this year. I know what he did last year. He's 56. He's 56-12 in his last 2 seasons, and he's done a hell of a job there. The reason why I say your coach is broken is the only time I've ever heard the little brother comment, it was Mark D'Antonio, and that's because it related to football, because Mike Hart said it when he played against Mark. And so that became a part of the Michigan State thing. I never heard Tom Izzo mention Michigan little brother. And then at the podium, he crashes out and says, first of all, I ain't nobody's damn little brother.
Was there a question that prompted that reply?
No.
No? He just said it out of nowhere?
100%.
Well, that's too bad, because as you guys know, I absolutely embrace little brother, because they take a beating from big brother, and then they start to figure it out, and then big brother has to cheat to stay on top. That's how it works in every family. And we can still go through and talk about, all of the GOATs in every sport, how they are, if not the little brother, the littlest brother. I embrace that. Hey, you guys have 8 times the endowment that we have. Yeah. Your university has lasted longer than we have.
You guys got more vacated.
By all terms and semantics, you guys are big brother.
I'm not even bringing any of that up. I could care less of the cheating. I can care less of this, that, and the third. Only thing I brought up is I've never seen Tom Izzo.
You brought up the little brother, and
I brought up him.
Yeah, but that's the little brother conversation.
I've never seen Tom Izzo crash out as it relates to the term little brother.
I've seen him crash out a lot.
I said as it relates to the term little brother.
Man, you guys love that one so much.
I don't. I never even can say it. I don't. Don't say you guys. I'm not you guys. I'm Braylon.
All right, chat. You guys in the chat love that one. Yeah. Look at it. Cam's trying to hide his smile because he loves that one too.
Anyway,
keep it up, A-Dub.
How you want to finish up? How you want to finish off this show, Kool-Aid?
I do got some super chats here. I want to make sure the people and their voice can be heard. There's a lot of discourse here today. Thank you, Chat Fam, for being here. Hey, look, let's see if we can zoom up to another light goal if we can.
Check and say we never get them involved. Like I feel like the last couple of days, man, we've done a really good job of get these guys involved. So proud. The more you have to say, man, we want to get your opinion. Your opinion is part of this show, so keep it coming.
Yep. And I'm gonna read through some of these so we can make sure everybody gets their super chat. Red Freddie fell through and through with another $2 super chat. Says Lions game should now be sustained success prices. Yeah, I feel what he's saying. Diam 303 with the 999.
What's that going to look like this year? What are tickets going to look like this year?
They're going up.
Again?
They're going up?
Again.
Based on what?
A healthy. On the fact that they sold the highest ticket prices last year, and they believe they can do that again, even with them jumped up. Business, man. Dollars and cents.
Okay, part of business, isn't it the product you put out? Because the tickets jumped up.
No, it's supply and demand.
Okay, but you went from 12-5 to 15-2. So last season was predicated off you going 15-2.
Do you think people are giving up their season tickets?
No.
Okay. So it's supply and demand.
Okay, but does that mean the tickets go up?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah. No, they've already announced it, but
okay.
I mean, tickets for a team that sold the highest price tickets on the road and at home, you're going to push those up and see where your threshold is.
Where is the love for the Lions as it relates to on the road? Like, because you're absolutely correct. The Lions were a huge draw on the road. People wanted to come see what this offense was. They wanted to see what they were hearing about, seeing on TV. Was it real? And it was. Now the Lions a little bit of a different situation. If I'm, I don't know, a casual fan, am I now trying to come to a Carolina Lions game?
Well, I think it's part of that. I think that we had that couple of years where we were the greatest show currently on turf.
Like the prime time.
Yeah, 100%.
Now if they're playing the Eagles, am I flying to this game?
I think a large portion of that was Lions fans traveling.
Yeah.
Lions fans that have already done the exodus out of the state last year or 10 years ago going to see their team. But a lot of people from Detroit that realize, hey, we can take a trip and the trip
cheaper.
And the tickets are cheaper than staying home and going to a game and having my nose bleed up upper deck. So let's go to Cincy.
That's fair. Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir. And Diam 303 with the $9.99 super chat says 63 years of the Fords bringing us a losing product. I see 7-10 this season. He says Brad will be the fall guy, and then we'll be back to the same place as a franchise as usual. Irrelevant. Brad gets a D grade.
I don't disagree with the fall guy, because at the end of the day, owners are always looking for fall guys, and if you're not in a position to be the fall guy, you look at who was hired first. Dan Campbell was hired before Brad Holmes, not the other way around. So in a situation like that, I don't think it's going to happen after this season, but I don't know. Crazier things have happened.
Crazier things have happened. Randall Smalls,
especially with Rick Spielman kind of floating around in the wings. Not Rick, excuse me, that's his brother, Chris, yeah. Rick is his older brother, was a GM.
What was with the Jets?
Dolphins and the Vikings. Oh yeah, he was in the division. He actually was my quarterback at Pro Day. How crazy is that?
Oh wow!
Because we didn't have any quarterbacks that were coming out.
Yeah.
So I didn't have anybody to throw me the ball. That's insane.
Spillman's brother. That's crazy.
He had a hose too.
Oh, self, I love that.
Because I warmed up with him. I said, "Hey, look, let me warm up." I said, "I don't want to go out here and drop one of these ducks you throw." Man, he threw some gas. I said, "Okay, I'm glad I warmed up
ready.
first." Yeah.
Randall Smalls with the $5 super chat. Shout out to our guy Randall. He says, "You guys act like Brad and Dan work for us, the fans. They are working to keep the job. They will do things their own way."
Yeah, we'll work to keep your job. Keeping your job becomes a better product of yourself.
Truth that the fans don't want to hear right there. Period.
Well, that they don't work for you.
Yeah, and that's the thing is we want them to work for us to get us a Super Bowl so we don't have to tell our grandchildren we never saw one. They're working to keep their jobs and sell tickets.
Well, they need to do a better job of it then. Because realistically, they don't have to work on my behalf. They don't have to work on your behalf. They need to work on the behalf of the Detroit Lions. And that behalf is bringing a better product year in and year out. Last year, the product took a dip. And it was a dip that a lot of us who made comments about what we want or what we see have pointed out. And they choose to ignore. They choose to troll from time to time. And then guess what? Got their asses handed to them. So realistically, I get what you're saying. But a better product of last year is what we want. So do your job then.
Can't fight that.
Can't fight that at all. Charles, earlier when you agreed with Anson, he says, so okay, you're just okay with being relevant, B?
You said what?
Earlier when you agreed that you believe the Lions fans from 5 years ago wanted to be good.
Let me just ask y'all something. I appreciate you, Charles, because you always commented. So
Shout out, Charles.
I'm not going to come at you sideways. Why don't y'all ever listen? Like, why don't y'all ever listen?
They hear what they want to hear.
What I said was, I agree on Anson's point, and what Anson's point was, 2021, all the Detroit Lions fan base wanted to do was have good football. Good football means winning some games. What it means is maybe make a playoff, and eventually that's what they did. You eventually went from 3-13-1 to second year. How excited were you guys that you almost made the playoffs? You know how long we heard that all offseason? Man, the Lions were right there. Man, if it wasn't for that play call, if it wasn't for the play call from the Seattle Seahawks and Los Angeles Rams game, we would have been in the playoffs. Man, did you see how hard they played in the last game against Green Bay? Even though they knew the season was over, they retired Aaron Rodgers.
That's right.
That's what y'all said. So I agree with the point that you just wanted good football. You wanted playoffs, and as you get a little further, you advance. You got to 9-8. You almost made the playoffs. What did you want in 2023? Man, we want to get the playoffs. Think we got a good team. Maybe we can make some noise in that division. You won the division. You made it to the NFC Championship. So then what happens in 2024? I think we can win a Super Bowl. I think we have the roster. All I'm saying is, at the time he's talking about, when you come from firing Caldwell to getting rid of Quinn Trisha, man, I'm just so sick of this terrible football, these terrible draft picks. Everybody, we're the butt of every joke. The Lions fan base just won. I wasn't a fan then. I told you I joined at 3-13-1. The Lions fan base just wanted to win, just wanted to make the playoffs. And as you then go 9-8, you then make the playoffs, you then are knocking on heaven's door, expectations go up. So yes, I agree with Anson on what you wanted. I don't think now, I don't want just to be relevant, not at all. But the Lions fan base, I think that's what they wanted at the time. And as you got better, you're like, holy shoot, like this is something. Lions are good. Oh, damn, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, they're really cooking. And then it goes up the expectations.
Crawl, walk, run.
Right.
We're past crawling now.
That's fair.
And we're relevant. We're walking, and we are asking them to help us run.
I don't want to be relevant anymore. You see what I said, right, Charles? I want a Super Bowl.
Both can be true.
Like, I want a Super Bowl. I don't care about making the playoffs. You made those 2 years ago with 15-2. And what'd that work out for you? You got cracked by the Washington Commanders. So I'm with you. I want the Super Bowl. But 2021,
disragged.
Especially, just think about it this way: you go from Quinn Trisha, you go from, in your opinion, the worst draft pick ever in Jeff Okudah. You go from Eric Ebron. I know how you guys feel about that one.
He had 10 touchdowns.
You go, 15 in Indianapolis. But you go from that to even when we hired Dan Campbell and have Brad Holmes. Do you remember that first season? We were 0-11.
Do you remember that first press conference?
We were 0-11. Sheila, that was the first time I saw Sheila. She said, no, don't worry. She was like, I support Dan. I support Brad. I'm here. We're going to turn this thing around. Now, she wasn't lying, but a lot of y'all didn't believe that at the time. Like, you was like, man, this guy here talking about biting kneecaps and all this stuff and this grit and this villain. Man, they 0-11.
It's same people that.
So don't forget, you just wanted to be relevant and you wanted to maybe challenge for the division, and you won it twice.
I appreciate you today.
Hey, you know what? I got your back, bro. I got you. Even though you said that slick stuff, I got your back. I got your
Shout out. We got a few more super chats here.
It happens fast,
great.
Because real talk, as I was just going on this little bit of a fun rant, like I forgot, like they would start at 0-11. Like it was a long time ago, it seems, but it really wasn't. 5 years ago, you were just like, yo, can we just please win some games and get in the playoff?
And we were like that for some years, up until 5 years ago.
Like 9 years. It's 2015 and 2000. So
clean up them super chats, Kool-Aid. I know we got
don't
more.
Don't be mad because I agree with you. You're still my dog, man.
They're
you know
so mad at
you.
Charles.
You're still my guy. My
stepdad's name like 2 or 3 times today.
My stepdad's name is Charles, man. I'm on your team. Come on, man.
Stephen Baffy, $5 super chat. My stepdad name, Charles. I like that fool.
You saw that, Cam? Let's throw it out there. Come on, man. I'm with Malcolm, man. I'm with Malcolm. Watch Charles be white. Now go ahead. Go ahead. Cool.
All right, Stephen Baffy, dog. $5 super chat. Upgraded center. Upgraded left tackle. Peninsula. Upgraded OC, DC, HC. So they need a right tackle and a backup running back. Tell me how they are not better than last year. He thinks the Lions are better positioned right now than last year.
Yeah, offensive line is better. And we still want to see what the right tackle is going to be. Obviously, that's going to be a move in the draft. You know, this is just what's his name is here right now just because he's on the squad. He's a depth piece here. But, yeah, offensive line is better. I don't think you're better at the running back position. You know, so that's just, whether I wanted him here or not, you're not better at the running back position. You're still trying to figure out what you're doing.
Or not better at secondary either.
100%. And then Sam Laporta, what does that look like?
That's a good one,
We
too.
haven't heard any conversation about Sam Laporta. I just want to know. I've seen him, but I want to know what that looks like. But it's a good debate. And the fact that it's a good debate is a little bit annoying.
Yes, it is.
Randall Smalls, $5 super chat. We got 3 more here. He says, I keep hearing about chances Brad made or took on Tesla, Manu, and Broderick, but tell me any player, 25 picks either way, still in the league.
Say
you might have to send that one in again, but I think he's saying that. Yeah, that he keeps hearing that people are saying that they took chances on these players, but I guess he's saying if you look at any of these players, like within 25 picks of them, I think he's saying where are those guys at?
Yeah, you've also given away picks, and you've had opportunities to draft picks with those. Or you've given away picks in other situations, other deals where people were there in those slots that you could have used that still had on the team. You know what? But I'm glad you asked that question because I'm coming back tomorrow with some stats. Because you're absolutely right. I think it's not fair that people, when they talk about Brad Holmes, they just mention, oh, you know, he didn't take a risk here. He didn't take a risk here. He doesn't make moves at the trade deadline. Don't you worry. Because tomorrow when I come in, I'm going to have some stats for your ass.
You know, Joe Dumars, people gave him a hard time for his drafts. You look at Carlos Delfino, look 10, 15 picks both ways on him. Nobody that was good. You know, you look at the stuff that he picked in the second round. And that's a really good question. I'm curious to see who the comparable players are that were there that he didn't take. What are they doing?
Yeah, that's a slippery slope.
It is.
With Joe D. Like, his first.
I'm going to protect that man till I die.
I feel you.
Shout out sweet Joe Dumars.
I feel you. I won't. You know what? I won't even go there. It's low hanging fruit. I will not take the low hanging fruit.
And
McNeese love, baby. Come on.
Nah, I'm talking about Darko.
Oh. Kiki Vandeweghe said he would have taken him at 2 instead of Carmelo.
His name's Kiki Vandeweghe.
Okay, that's fair.
Kiki's actually.
Kiki's a dope name.
He's a basket.
I would love to marry a woman named Kiki. You know she'd keep everything spicy and fun.
I think Van Damme's dog was named Kiki, and Bloods. No, what is it? Kickboxer. The dog got stabbed.
That's a slept-on movie.
Yeah,
it's no blood sport, but it's good.
His dog was Kiki, and he got.
It's a deep cut, right?
It's funny too because they threw some knives at him, so he got cut. Look at you. All right, go ahead, Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah,
we wrapping up 3 minutes, man. What your Pistons gonna do, man?
They got to at least get revenge tonight.
Yeah,
at the very least.
We breaking the losing streak.
We better.
I hope so.
Very least.
Is tonight going to be a sneaky preview of the NBA Finals? One Boston Celtics plays
the San Antonio Wembies.
Yeah.
Huh. It would be if it was Detroit. I know Bray doesn't like that one. I still bullish on our Detroit Pistons, but
Eastern Conference Finals.
To be for real with you,
I know that
Boston Celtics are tough, and that was one of the teams that Shep and I from the beginning of the season were like, look, they're still good. They had pedigree. Jaylen Brown was a guy who I thought he rightfully played his role when Jason Tatum was there healthy. Now you see him blossoming into what he is today, an MVP candidate. Now they get Jason Tatum back, who you could tell he's still coming back from injury, but he still looked really good comparatively. How is he going to look in about a month or two from now? So the Boston Celtics are a team that, not necessarily from out of nowhere for me, but maybe for other people, and as it relates to the standings, they have definitely shot up as it relates to being a title contender, a championship contender.
I thought they're the biggest hurdle in the East since the season started, before it started. And the fact is, the NBA favors that franchise.
Thoughts on
I don't even want to think about it, but you're right.
Thoughts on SGA last night, 35 points, 15 assists, 8 rebounds, reminding everybody how good of a player he is. And I was talking to Anson about this. You know, we make so much about when you like a guy, you make so much about what that team doesn't have. When you like Cade Cunningham, you're looking at the guy, look at this roster. He doesn't have a number 2 or he doesn't have a stretch wing, et cetera, et cetera. Like when you're talking about Jaylen Brown, look at what he's overcoming. Look at what it is. But you don't do that for SGA, who hasn't had Hardenstein, hasn't had Jay Will. He's had Lou Dort's been the only consistent guy. Chet's been out.
Caruso.
Yeah, Caruso is strong on that second line, and he's been out. And SGA still kept it together. He got back 6 games ago.
What SGA has is 10 other guys that can hit the 3. There's only one guy on that team that doesn't shoot the 3, and that is ISIAH Hartenstein. It creates such ridiculous spacing for a guy that can not only create his own shot, but can at will get to the rack. If you gave Cade a couple extra shooters, that opens things up. But yes, to your point, my boy J-Dub has been, he never really fully got over that wrist surgery. The fact that he was out and not conditioning led to his hamstring injury. He's not been healthy, and his shot hasn't been falling this year either. We'll see what version of him they get in the playoffs, but what SGA did last night against the guy that they say is the best in the league, I mean, that debate is really hard to put to rest. SGA versus Joker.
I would absolutely agree with you on that.
I'm gonna run through these last 2, and then Bray, if we can get that last ad read too before we wrap up from Supreme Lending. But I'm gonna read these super chats first because the people that showed out, like I said, they for this breaking news, they definitely showed up.
Fun. A lot of fun. The last 3 days have been crazy. We got to keep this energy going.
Yes, sir.
Keep it going, man. Hey, it's the best chat in the business. Randall Smalls.
Trey Henderson signs tomorrow, 145.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Ray, you doing the pre-show video?
It was on the screen, man. I was like,
I did too.
I saw a Raiders show. I'm like, they got another one?
I'm about to say, oh my gosh, we're going to go for another hour. But look, Randall Smalls, $2 super chat. He says, next move, he wants Brisker, the safety from the Bears.
Deshaun Wright, I would take from the Bears too.
He just signed.
He did,
for $5.5 million.
Romeo
with the Jets. With the Jets
for 1 year.
Jets been making moves.
When I saw that, I was like, wait a second.
They picked up.
Maybe there's something else coming down the pipe.
They picked up Geno Smith too as a backup quarterback. It's not a bad backup.
Tariq Woolen, the last guy out there
that I don't know why we wouldn't just look at him. Right.
Who, Woolen?
No, Wright.
Right. I think they did.
5.5 for 1 year.
It's too much like Wright.
I mean, Deshaun's only 27. I would have given him 2 years to try and get him,
man,
because he had to sign a 1 year last year and then makes the Pro Bowl off of it. And why he accepted only a 1 year deal on the heels of a Pro Bowl is wild.
Shoot, that market.
I guess he knew he was a Jet. He's like, I ain't trying to be here too long.
Come get paid, quick crash grab.
That's right.
He was like, man, maybe I can see Bray here 1 year, man. For my 1 year here.
I'll be there.
It's the only reason to go there.
And Ryan's reaction before we get that last ad read, he says, name a position that we've improved over 2025.
Center.
That might be a good segment for tomorrow. I think center, definitely. Left tackle?
Well, yeah, if you put Panay over there, but then we went down on right tackle.
I was just about to say, that's a great call. Like that. Don't say we got better left tackle when the right tackle went down because of it. So.
Yeah, we've only improved one position in my eyes.
Sheesh. Well, you know
Some
what, Bray?
People don't even think that.
I was going to say, tell the good people about Supreme Lending.
Buying a home, refinancing, it's a big decision, just like in sports. You need the right team behind you, and that right team is Supreme Lending, Woodward Sports Family. It's a full-service lender. They boast 99% close on-time rating. I don't know about you, but I'm very into the rates. And you talk about 99% close rate, that's damn good for me. But here's the game changer. When you apply for an eligible loan, mention Woodward Sports. We tell you, we only partner with people that want to partner with you. You mention Woodward Sports, and you get up to $500 off of your appraisal. Appraisal is an important thing. $500 off sounds like a good deal to me. The score is the deal. Call the numbers on your screen. Talk to Chad and Chris. Supreme Lending today.
Hey, back to the desk.
Look, man, we appreciate you guys for tuning in to the Braylon Network Show with Anson today. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have more news and notes from my man Sweet Potato Cam, from my right hand Kool-Aid.
What up, though?
Thank you. We're going to do this again tomorrow. Stay tuned.
Chad showed out. Thank you.
They did. They've been showing out, period.
Yep.
Every day, man. But money is hard-earned money. It's time. It's effort.
Let's get him another signing for tomorrow.
You let me know.
Something for the people.
Go to it, Brad.
We'll have some stuff for you. We'll some gift cards. We bring in some cards, too, to get signed.
If Brad don't sign nobody, you know Bray gonna sign something for you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, because I believe in the people. Let's see y'all tomorrow.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan
Lofting it, right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.